What's up guys, Tim here from Audio Tutor. Let's talk about pianos today. Whoa, pianos? Nobody ever talks about pianos. We're always talking about guitars. What are we talking about? I'm a piano guy. I like playing keys. I like pianos and synths and e-pianos and Rhodes and all of that fun stuff. And hopefully maybe you're watching this because you're a piano keyboard kind of person. So let's talk about that today. Today I want to talk about panning. I want to talk about the difference between a mono piano recording and a stereo piano recording, where we use the two things, and how we look at panning with our keyboard arrangements, with our piano arrangements, with different scenarios, different mixes, different kinds of songs that we're going to use those recordings or samplings in. Okay, so the difference, we've got stereo versus mono. What does this mean? Well, so in a recording of a piano, you may, if you recorded it yourself, you may have used two different microphones to pick up a left signal and a right signal, or you may have used a stereo microphone. Likelihood is if you set up a mic recording like that, then you kind of know the difference between stereo and mono. But if you're not sure on your recording, you have your piano recording, and you're not really sure whether it's stereo or mono or what, you don't really know too much about this stuff, that's fine, that's why I'm talking to you. So, have a listen, get some headphones, right, and listen to your piano recording. What you will notice, if it's a stereo recording, you'll notice the high notes, those really twinkly high notes, will be on one side, and the low, boomy, big notes at the bottom will be on the other side, all right? That's the simplest way to know whether you're listening to a stereo piano recording or not, all right? Or if you're listening to a mono piano recording. This is the same thing with sampling. Sampling will do the same thing. High notes will be up here, low notes will be down there, all right? So figure that out to start with. Now let's talk about different kinds of arrangements, different styles of music where you will hear a piano and where you may be using a piano. Maybe you're writing a song right now. Let's say you are the next best thing since Elton John or Billy Joel, and you are writing like a pop rock kind of song where piano is the instrument, is one of the main instruments in the mix, all right? So where a lot of singer-songwriters have their acoustic guitar and that's one of the main instruments in their song, or a lot of hip-hop artists have a beat machine and that's one of the main instruments in their song. In your song, maybe you are just amazing on the piano. Maybe you're like a Jamie Cullum, right? Here's another guy. So you're amazing on the piano and that's one of the main focus points of your song. Do you want that piano recording to be in stereo or in mono? Well, I tell you the short answer, I'm not going to dibble dabble about this, the short answer is you want a stereo recording of that piano. You know why? Because you want to hear the piano in all of its glory. It is one of the main focus points of your whole song and your whole mix, so you want it to be in its full glory. You want to hear all that space that the piano was sampled or recorded in. You want to just hear it to its best possible, in its best possible way. So you want to use a stereo recording for that. Now, where do we pan in that scenario? You got this great song that sounds like, you know, Billy Joel has come back for a revamp, please. Where do we pan that piano? Do we pan it slightly one way or the other way? Do we pan it right up the center? Do we pan it all the way to one side? What do we do? Well, you want to pan it in the center. It's a stereo recording, so in order to hear it in its full capacity, you want to pan it right the way to the center, and then you're going to hear things evenly on the left and right. The only exception to this is if you have an arrangement that is particularly kind of on one side of that spectrum, then you might want to adjust just to make sure things don't kind of feel uneven, all right? If you have, I've done this in the past, maybe you have an arrangement that doesn't really sit in the middle of the piano and doesn't sit, you know, with your left hand right the way low and your right hand right up the top end, you're kind of shifted, you're maybe further up right? Most of your arrangement is further up the keys. Then you're going to want to pan to kind of make sure that you're not hearing, because obviously the higher you go on the keys, you're going to hear it in one ear more than the other. So then things can kind of start to sound a bit unbalanced, and you feel like you're hearing it over here and not dead on in the center. So you want to maybe just pan a little bit in the opposite direction to make sure things are sitting evenly. There's an easy way to do that. Just grab your track, your stereo track, and have a look at the meters. They'll be doing this, right, up and down. You'll be able to see if one of those meters is kind of going up higher than the other. All right, you want the 2 meters to kind of look as even as possible as they're going up and down, right? That's the key to getting a nice balanced sound with your stereo recording of a piano. Let's talk about mono recordings of a piano though. Where would we use a mono recording of a piano? Well, I actually used one just recently in a project I was working on the other day. I was writing this like pop track, kind of pop reggaeton kind of vibe. And I wanted to add into the chorus, I wanted to add in this kind of flamenco style piano, but it was actually more of a background instrument. Keywords, background instrument. It was an add-on. It wasn't the main focus of the mix, all right? And I wanted it to add some width to the chorus. I wanted things to really sound big and wide in the chorus. So what I did actually was this great technique. Here's a bonus technique for you. I recorded 2 different honky-tonk style pianos, right? And they were just sampled pianos. I don't have multiple pianos to choose from. I just sampled pianos, right? And I recorded 2 different sampled pianos, honky-tonk style pianos, and recorded this sort of flamenco sound. And then I panned one all the way to the left, and I panned the other one all the way to the right. And because of the slight differences between the 2, it gave me loads of extra stereo width in the chorus. So it's a really nice little technique there for you if you want to try that out, if you're looking for something like that. So the point is here that if your piano is more of a background instrument and not the main focus, then you may want to look into having it as a mono recording and not a stereo recording. Have it as a mono recording, and you can do this by having a stereo recording and converting it to a mono recording, and then pan it where it needs to go. Maybe in my case, I had 2 different pianos and I put them one on the left, one on the right. But maybe you just want this piano to add a little something, and you might put it, you know, half the way to the right, or half the way to the left, or all the way to the left or right, or up the center or whatever. But you've got this mono recording. The point is that if you have a piano that you're adding in as an effect, you probably want to use a mono recording or a mono sampling of a piano. If you have a piano that is more of a main focus, right? If you're a piano maestro, then have it as a main focus and have it in stereo in its full glory. So I hope that helped. I want to do more and more tips on piano and keyboard stuff, because it's one of the things that we don't see that much. You're always seeing out in YouTube land about recording and mixing. You're always seeing about how to make your snare sound fat, and how to make your 808s kick harder and all of that stuff. And we talk about guitars and getting your lead electric to sound really aggressive and up front. We talk about vocals. Hardly ever do I see things on piano arrangements and keyboards and that kind of thing. So for those people out there looking for that stuff, I hope I can do more on that. And please leave suggestions, any questions and queries and problems that you've come up against to do with piano and keyboards and even synthesizers and whatever, and arranging those things as well, and mixing and recording as well. Do leave your comments and suggestions and questions and all of that in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and, I don't know, share and comment and all those things. It helps with algorithms, but it also helps me know that I'm helping, that I'm doing something good that's helping you out. One last thing before you go, if you are interested in getting started in the world of recording and mixing and home studio stuff, maybe you write your own music, maybe you want to design sound effects for a movie, maybe you are putting on a theatre production and you don't know about audio, but you know you need audio. If you don't know the equipment you need to get started in that world, or if you just want some recommendations, I have a 26-page ebook that's absolutely free from me to you. It's a full guide of all that gear that you're going to need to get started recording and mixing on an affordable budget. Hey, affordability right here. Check it out. It's absolutely free from me to you. There's a link somewhere around here that you can click and you'll get the free ebook. So go find the link. I'm sure you can find it. Go enjoy, and I'll see you on the next video. Let me know what you want me to cover, and I'll try my best to cover those things. My name's Tim from Audio Tutor. Ciao.